Hey guys, good morning. I know I don't sound as chipper as norm, but look at this one.
Hi. Hi everybody.
The camera won't focus. Here we go.
Hi everybody.
What have y'all been doing?
We have been
picking onions.
Onion grass.
onion grass.
In the backyard.
Yeah.
They smell just like a bag of onions. Nobody. What are you gonna do with that? Why are you breaking it out?
Are we gonna wash them outside or inside?
Wash them outside, not inside. It's dirty. Oh.
Okay, let's go move.
I'll go the other way. Bye.
Goodbye.
By peoples of the U.S. and France
Oh, just them two?
and Spain and all you other people.
In Spain and all you other people should be. Anyway, so a couple of nights ago, I went, not last night, but the night before last, I had to go to the emergency room. It's been a whole ordeal. I'm gonna make a separate video on that. As you can see, I was stuck 3 times here that day. There's like this sticker stuff. Here, as you can see the other stuff, I was stuck twice. And then I was stuck right here. As you can see that little bump on my wrist because they couldn't find a vein, which is unusual for me. But I think under the circumstances, you know, it was, why I was there was the problem. But like I said, I'm gonna do a whole separate video on that. But I just thought I would vlog today for a little bit because we are going to be going to the mall. The girls don't know. This is our first time going to the mall where we are because we just moved here. So I don't know how eventful that's gonna be. But I thought I would vlog. But we got up this morning. Apparently there was a huge thunderstorm last night. I slept through the whole thing, knocked out, took my medicine and was done. It woke up my baby boy. I was so sad when I saw the camera. And he woke up and he was just like by himself because this is the first time he's had his own room. So he's unfamiliar, but he's doing an excellent job with it. Like, I'm surprised that he just wasn't like crying or anything. He kind of sat up and looked around for a couple minutes and sucked his thumb and laid back down and went back to sleep. So that's good. I am doing a load of laundry right now because mom life. I accidentally left them in the washer and forgot they were in there. So they were sitting there overnight, so I just washed them again just to, you know, keep them fresh before I put them in the dryer. Hubby is outside mowing the lawn, and this is his first time mowing the new lawn, you guys. So this is very exciting. So, and this is not like we came from a big house and went to another big house and he's mowed the lawn before. This is literally the first, not the first time he's mowed a lawn, but the first time he's mowed, he's able to mow his own substantial lawn yard with a big house, you guys. So I thought I'd bring out the camera and show you guys. Hold on. There he goes. And yes, all of this, they're down there washing onions. And all of this, all the way down to that peak. And all this and all that, all the way down to where you see this hedge thing is, and all the way around the front is our yard. And it's a lot of yard, as you can tell. You can see how far he is now. And he's doing pretty good. He's doing good. I'm proud. I'm proud. He's only done this section. As you can probably tell, he hasn't done anything past this point yet. I don't know why he started in the middle, but you know, maybe he'll take a break or something. Hey, wave. He shook his head. Wave to the people. Hey, hey, wave. There he goes. Yeah, so he's basically finishing up that portion. It's not even half, but that portion. And I guess he'll start on the next portion, guys.
Oh.
What you doing?
I'm just making it cleaner.
Okay, you guys, I'm walking back in the house. Sorry about the lighting, but I'm in and out, and I haven't opened my blinds yet. So, but yeah, you guys, thumbs up if you have ever had an issue with your neighbor with their dogs. Thumbs up. I'm gonna give y'all this little story, okay? Now the story has not concluded yet, and I'm gonna tell you why. Sorry, I keep looking this way. I'm trying to see if it's still recording because my battery's kind of running low and I don't want to be talking and it cut off. But anyway, so we just moved here. We've been here. This would be going on our 3rd week, 4th week. Wait a minute. The kids been in school for 2 weeks. We was here a week before. Okay, so this Monday coming up, I don't have my watch on, so I don't know what date it would be our 4th week here. Okay, so we've been here almost a month, almost. Ever since we got here, our next door neighbors, they have 2 big dogs. Now, one is old and one is a puppy, but it's still big, okay? Now, we are a family that love dogs, don't get me wrong, but we don't have a fence here and neither do our next door neighbors. Now, everyone else does, but our 2 houses don't, and we're next to each other, as you saw. And they don't walk their dogs. They just let the dogs out. The dogs roam the neighborhood, especially our yard. It comes up on our deck late at night. They just let it out, close the door, and then when they feel like, okay, it's time to come back in, they open the door and they call them back in. Which is terribly disgusting because you don't know where your dog, excuse my language, is shitting, okay, or peeing or anything, you know what I mean? It could be peeing up on my deck and I have no idea. Now how I know it comes on my deck and it comes to my front doors because we have cameras. We have cameras in the back on the deck, so we get an alert when it comes. A couple days ago, it came 2 nights in a row, one at 10 o'clock at night, one at 11 o'clock at night. Now, when it came at 10 o'clock at night, I couldn't do anything about it because I was at the hospital at the time. Now, the day it came at 11 at night, I was in the bed. So as soon as I popped up to come down here to talk to them, to tell them to get the dog off my daggone deck, hair came out, everything with that. The dog was gone, back in the house by then, and they were gone, okay? So, it came to my front door because we have the Ring. And with Ring, of course, it has a camera. So when it alerted us, the first night it came back here, which wasn't neither one of the 2 nights I'm talking about. So technically, the last night that it did it at 10 o'clock, that was the 3rd time it did it. Okay, the first night it came up on the deck and we were all here eating dinner and we thought something was wrong. We thought it like got out and they didn't know. And then it went to the front door and we were kind of worried but mad and all this stuff. Hold on, you guys, my camera is dying. I'm gonna change my battery. I'll be back. Okay, you guys, I'm back. Fresh battery and oil. Let's get it. So, as I was saying, so yeah, that was the 3rd time that the dog had came up, okay? Now, not to mention countless times that the dog has not gotten out, but they've let the dog out to just shit and pee and roam. I don't know what it is about them. Like, it's almost like they think that, okay, we can let it out and it's just gonna stay in our yard. Like, come on now. You don't have a fence, we don't have a fence. Why do you think it would just stay in your yard? So, at this point, I'm pissed because we have picked up dog shit. Once again, excuse my language. We have picked up dog shit in our backyard and on our side yard between our houses way too many times, okay? First of all, I shouldn't have to pick up dog shit, period, because we don't have a dog at all. So there's no way that I should be picking up dog shit. Now, if we had a dog and we let the dog out, like they let the dog out, or we had a dog, period, and sometimes it goes out and plays with us or whatever, and we saw dog shit, we couldn't complain because we wouldn't know who shit unless we had it on camera. We wouldn't know if it was our dog or their dog, but we don't have a dog. So now it's becoming a problem. And not to mention, I know you guys will be like, well, why don't you just talk to her? I've talked to her twice. The first time I met her, we was here for a week, and the first time I met her was the same thing. I went outside to do something in the car, in the driveway, and she was out with the dog. She was standing there watching the dog roam the fucking neighborhood. And so I was like, oh, that's a pretty dog. And she was like, oh, thank you. You know, you're new to the neighborhood. But she introduced herself. I introduced myself. And she was like, oh, don't worry. I'll get the pooper scooper out. And I'll get, you know, whatever she poops up. Or they, because like I said, they have 2 dogs. and you know, I'll keep her close to the house. And I'm like, okay, thanks, because one, I don't want to, I told her this, I was like, okay, thanks, because you know, I'm not trying to pick up any poop, we don't even have a dog. And she laughed and she was like, yeah, you're right, blah blah blah. But there's old poop in the yard too, so you know she's been doing this for a minute. And then I was like, yeah. And then also my youngest daughter, she's terrified of big dogs, especially because your dog likes to jump. It's a puppy, so it loves to run and jump on people. And she's like, oh, okay, you know, I understand, blah, blah, blah. Also, what I didn't tell her is that I have a few family members that if that dog run and jump on them, they're going to punch that dog in the face. I'm just kidding, you guys. But they not going to like that either. You know what I mean? That my family are dog people, but they don't like that type of stuff, especially with big dogs. Like, you could come up to it and they'll pet it and stuff if it's okay, blah, blah, blah. They're kind of timid at first, especially because they don't know the dog, which is typical, or should be typical of people. But the whole run and jump up on you thing, no. And the dog runs and jump, and then when they try to call it back, it doesn't listen. So it just does what it wants to do and then comes back. So yeah, no. So now I'm at the point where I've been trying to get to them to tell them firmly, because obviously they didn't hear me the first or second time. Trying to tell them firmly to invest in an invisible fence or invest in a freaking leash, which only costs a few dollars, and get your lazy butt up and walk the dogs like everyone else in this neighborhood. Then that way you know where they shit, you can pick up their shit, and you can keep going. The funny part about this whole situation is two funny things. The first funny thing about the situation is I have not been able to see them. The only time I see them is them in a car pulling off. Like, they don't come outside normally, and their garage is always open. Every morning they open their garage, early morning. And then every night they close their garage. It's open all day, but no one's ever in it. And believe me, I've been waiting to get to see them, right? Haven't seen them. Haven't been seeing them. So I'm going to have to knock on their door. And we're going to have a good discussion about this, because I'm not going to keep picking up poop. I'm not going to keep doing that. That's nasty. And this came up because, like I said, my husband's mowing the lawn and he's finding all kinds of piles and stuff. And I went out there and started canvassing and stuff. And you know what I did? I took a freaking shovel, I picked it up, and I put it in their yard. Boom. I don't give a shit. I did it. Yes. And this is not the first time I'm doing it. I did it. This is my second time doing it. I picked up all the poop that I saw and I threw it in their yard. Because if you're going to pick up some poop, you don't want to pick up poop in my yard, then pick up poop in your yard. But once again, I'm not going to keep doing that either, because that's nasty. I don't even have a dog. That's nasty. I'm not going to keep doing that. You know what I'm saying? Just be responsible for your pets, or don't have them. Okay? And the second funny part about this whole situation is we live in a community, literally a community where they have like HOA fees and stuff like that. And part of the HOA is clean up behind your dog and have your dog on a leash. It's a rule. Funny part is, let me show you guys. There's a sign literally behind our house. That sign with the white behind it right there. It's literally almost, it's in our yard technically, but it's in between our yards. This daggone sign says, have your freaking dog on a freaking leash and clean up after your freaking dog, or the fine is $25 to $200. They even have stations where they give you free bags to pick your dog stuff up, and a station for trash. You could throw it away. It's at the same station. You get a bag, you walk around, pick up the poop, come back and put the poop in the trash can. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go down there and get a handful of them dang bags, and then I'm gonna go knock on their door and then give it to them, since they don't know what a bag is. Thumbs up if y'all ever had a dog issue with your neighbors and stuff. Because I'm telling you, at this point, because I never see them, I'm literally going to have to knock on their door. And it's going to happen very soon, because I'm not going to keep doing this. What you say to that? Correct, Amundo?
Subscribe.
Subscribe? Subscribe. I got it on film. Get her! Get her! I got it on film. I'm calling the authorities. It cut off? Yeah. You gotta swipe it again. Swipe it. Swipe it, don't swipe it. Yes, massage in the morning. Swiping, no swiping.